I'm on Dartmoor. We're supervising some gold DFE groups. This is day 3 of a 4-day expedition. They've had some pretty wet weather. It's by Dartmoor standards it hasn't been horrendous, but I think they will have, fair to say, found it reasonably horrendous. Certainly everyone's feet is thoroughly soaking, and there's just a lot of moisture in the air as well. I haven't been able to do a huge amount of photography because primary focus, understandably, is making sure everyone's safe and they complete their expedition absolutely fine. But I have been trying to make a little film with the students, pretty much about how the pandemic has affected them a little bit, but really how coming back to being in an outdoor space, back to doing camping for the first time as a school in I guess 18-19 months, how they feel about that, what it's like getting back out into it, and what that connection with nature means to them, mental health wise and physically, and what they want to do in the future using those skills. Because a lot of these students now in the sixth form, well, they're all in the sixth form, some of them are in the final year of sixth form, and they're going on to the next step of life. So what can those adventures lead to? Unfortunately, I can't share any of that on this channel because of sort of child protection and model releases and things like that. But that's what I've been working on. Overall, this is really challenging weather for photography, I think. It's the sort of weather that just loves to destroy gear. It's dry right now, it's not raining, but there is a mist in the air, hanging fog that just gets everything a little bit damp. Constantly having to wipe the lenses even on the GoPro. But I've got the reassurance that at least the GoPro is waterproof, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Main camera, a little bit nervous about bringing out, and you've got the changes in temperature, that it's been really quite chilly at night sometimes. Right now it's properly humid and quite warm, so that temperature gradient tends to steam up and you can get condensation on the inside of your camera, which is all quite scary. So it's quite hard to capture the real essence of the expedition, because the meat of the expedition, the ardour of it, happens in those weather conditions. So it's snapped opportunities, making sure you've got like large sandwich bag, freezer bag type things that you can put the camera in afterwards, so that they don't condense up, trying to avoid a really rapid temperature gradient, so my camera would never go from a cold outdoor space into a running minibus that's had the heaters on or anything like that, or into a tent. Slow progressive changes in temperature, and obviously making sure your camera's up for it. So either a waterproof camera like the GoPro that I'm using at the moment, other brands available, or making sure that your camera has weather sealing, a sort of a rubber gasket around the lenses and things like that, so it can keep a bit of the rain out. Doesn't mean it's waterproof, but it will keep a bit of the rain out. So all those things allow you to actually capture the moment. And then the other thing, I think, is just being respectful to your subject. So yesterday I took no official photographs at all, and the reason for that is that I'm working predominantly with 16-17 year olds, and for them yesterday was the toughest thing that they've done in their life. We've been up here a lot, so we've got things to compare it to, but that's what they were going through in that moment, and photographically that would have been really interesting, but it's not what they would have wanted. They wouldn't want portraits of themselves going through that. They might do in years to come, but they certainly wouldn't want it at the moment. So despite the fact they've signed a form saying, yeah, any photographs is fine, you've just got to be respectful for what people around you are going through, I think. So that's the reason for that. I did get some B-roll for this little film that I was talking about, but even then, largely I was pointing the camera down, or oblique shots, over the shoulder shots, so it didn't have that kind of personal touch. Not ideal for the film, but I think more appropriate to the people that I'm working with, and ultimately the important thing is that they have a good experience from the expedition, and then it's my job as the photographer to try and get as best I can from the results of that. So as I say, we're on day 3, we're camping wild again tonight. Got quite a bit of gear to pack in, so I probably will just be on little GoPro for this evening rather than packing it all in, because I've got some students' kit to carry as well. And then on the final day, hopefully the weather will improve and we'll get some shots. But quite often I come back from these and all the shots are in the sunshine. It gives the impression that all we do is have jollies in the sunshine, which is absolutely not the case. But for those reasons that I've talked about, that's kind of why really. It's got the primary focus for this weekend isn't photography, although I can't resist. Whereas if it was just about that, then we would have a different setup. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry I was a bit patchy last week, so patchy, just didn't get the video up at all, which is not ideal for the third video. But I'll try and do a double whammy in this week, so I'm trying to keep that consistency of week on, week off.